everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. So today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different and I'm going to be showing you guys all of the attacks that I made for ARTFIGHT 2025, which granted was not a lot of attacks, but I literally tried to record this voiceover like 10 times already, but I thought I sounded like super depressed in like all the other attempts, so I'm trying again. But so this year was actually the first year that I've ever participated in an ARTFIGHT. I actually wanted to participate in ARTFIGHT last year, but by the time I found out, like, it was already the end of July, so there wasn't really any time for me to do anything. But this year I thought, since like I genuinely have like nothing better to do in the summer, I thought, you know, like, why not give it a shot? It seemed like super fun from what I had seen like online and like what others had said about it, so I'm glad I gave it a shot. But I'll explain like what ARTFIGHT is for those who don't know. It's basically, I would describe it as like an art trading / gifting sort of event that runs through the whole month of July. And basically there are two teams every year, and this year I think it was Team Fossils versus Crystals. And basically you choose a team and you can like attack other people, which is you just drawing their OCs, and other people can also attack you, which is them drawing your OCs. Hopefully that makes sense, but every time you attack someone, you gain points for your own team, and then at the end of the event, whichever team that has the most points wins. There's a lot of like other like really small details, but they do have like a really nice explanation on their website, so check that out if you're interested. I'm not really gonna lie to you, I was low-key like a little bit scared of ARTFIGHT. I've never really like shared my art like really with anyone before. Like, I've never shared it with any of my friends, and I didn't really start sharing my art online up until now. Since you're watching this video, if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. But I really wanted to participate because, like I said, it seemed like super duper fun, and honestly I'm really glad I did because it was really fun. So I just went in there, I set up my profile, and guys, I was immediately blown away by how beautiful people's profiles were. Like, some people had like animations, GIFs, I don't know how to pronounce that word, please don't come at me. Honestly, I don't know if I was like being really dumb or something, but I could not for the life of me figure out how to add a photo onto my profile. I really wanted to add like the little card everyone was adding, but I could not figure out how to upload it. So if you're new, I would recommend watching like just a couple of videos on how this site works because it is a little bit confusing. But I wanted to talk about the drawing that I'm doing right now. This is actually the first ever attack that I made on ARTFIGHT. I will be putting like all the profiles and like characters of whoever I'm drawing up on screen, so go check them out if you do find a character that piques your interest. So the OC that I'm drawing right now is named Ant Arden from the artist Jack Sells, and I thought this OC, I really loved the concept of this OC and I loved their color palette, so I really wanted to draw them. Honestly, I think I started off ARTFIGHT pretty strong. I had a lot of energy, I did full line art, full shading, and honestly I was like actually really scared to submit this attack. I think it took me like 2 whole days to press the attack button. I was really worried like, oh, what if the creator, like, you know, they didn't really like the drawing, but they did leave a really nice comment. Actually, like, I think everyone that I have interacted with on ARTFIGHT so far has been pretty nice, so I'm really glad for that. But overall, I had like a lot of fun drawing this. I really enjoyed shading the hair. Something I did struggle with was finding a background. Like, I've never been good at finding backgrounds since my color theory kind of sucks. But guys, I just realized that there's a brown dot on the side of the attack. Hopefully I erased that before I submitted the attack, but it is what it is. So the drawing you're seeing right now is the second attack that I did on ARTFIGHT. It is of this OC named Aliki. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. If not, apologies in advance, by the artist named Creepval. I thought their OC was super duper cute. I really love like the little buns on the side of the character, and I like the whole color palette. I'm not gonna lie here, I was kind of losing energy a little bit. I know you guys are probably like, you've only literally done like 2 attacks. I did try to do like a couple more attacks before this one, but they all kind of failed, so I was running out of steam a little bit. So for the rest of the attacks you'll notice that I did like completely skip doing line art. Instead, I decided to just stick to like, you know, a more sketchy sort of line art, because I thought like if I skip line art, maybe it would like help me to draw faster, and therefore drawing faster equals more attacks, so I could attack more people. I don't really think that helped because it still took me like 10 years to finish each drawing. In case you guys didn't know, I'm like an extremely slow drawer for some reason. I really wish I could draw faster because I really wanted to attack more people. I had like so many characters bookmarked. Honestly, like, seeing all the characters on ARTFIGHT really makes me want to like work on improving my own character designs. Like, I feel like my characters are like lacking a little bit of something. I'm not entirely too sure what, but it definitely makes me like really want to like redesign all of my characters now. But yeah, honestly, I had a lot of fun doing this as well. I just realized like the pose that I chose ended up being like really similar to the reference photo, which was not really my intention. I also really enjoyed shading the hair like always because I love the buns. I probably should have wrote a script for this video. I'm kind of like freestyling it right now, so if my thoughts are like going all over the place, that's probably why. But this third attack, I am drawing this cutie patootie named Mark. They're from the artist Summer Turnip, and before I wasn't really sure if I was allowed to attack this character because I saved this character before like the teams were released, and then I found out we were actually on the same team, but I realized that you could, and it's actually called Friendly Fire. It's just that you get like a little bit less points than you would normally attacking a member of the other team. Originally I was just going to draw Mark alone, which you see me doing right now, but as I was scrolling through like Summer Turnip's other OC, I found out that there was like another OC in the same universe as Mark named Emilio, and I decided I really wanted to try drawing them together, so you'll see me doing that in like just a sec. I was a little bit hesitant to do it at first because I didn't want to lose all my energy, but I decided just to go for it. Something that I really enjoyed doing, like that ARTFIGHT made me do, was kind of like forcing me to draw like characters outside of my comfort zone, especially around like differently like aged characters. I believe that Mark is supposed to be younger than Emilio. Hopefully I'm not wrong about that. But it was really fun like trying to figure out how to show that in my style, especially since like all my OCs are around like the similar age, and I usually never get to draw kid OCs that much. Yeah, so it was like super fun but also super hard trying to figure out like what I could change about my style to show that. I think in total I did like, I want to say 5 attacks at the time of recording this voiceover, and then I received I think 5 defenses, which honestly I was super happy about because I wasn't really expecting anybody to attack me. I think I had like 2 Instagram followers going into ARTFIGHT, so honestly I like literally knew no one going into there, so I was really happy to see like, you know, other people drawing my OCs. I think most of the defenses I received were revenges, which is basically like when you attack someone, sometimes like they can choose to attack you back, so I was really happy people went out of their time to draw my OCs. Honestly, I'm like the type of person that will like appreciate like any drawing of my OCs. I think it's really neat to see it like my OCs being drawn in other people's styles and how they're like being interpreted. Most of the defenses were of my OC Taya, which honestly I don't blame them because Taya is actually my favorite OC to draw. I feel like if I were ever to like commission someone on my OCs, Taya would be the one I would commission. Although I did only have like I think 2 OCs up on ARTFIGHT at first, and then I added one more in later. I kind of ran out of like motivation to finish making like all my OCs reference sheets, and also because like I wasn't happy with a lot of my OCs designs. So I think like if I participate in ARTFIGHT next year, I definitely want to put up like way more OCs. Anyways, back to the drawing. I do wish that I did do like full line art for this drawing. I feel like it would have looked much better if I did, but I was getting like super tired. I also really love doing the hair. I know I've said that like literally about every attack I've done, but guys, I just love shading hair like so much, especially like Emilio's poofy hair, which is the guy on the right. Summer Turnip, if you're watching this video, which you probably aren't, but your OCs are so cute. Like they are literally also adorable. I had so much fun doing this attack. And now on to like my last like official attack on ARTFIGHT. So this OC is named Starstruck by Ari the Uni Kitty. I hope I'm also pronouncing that name correct. I really liked, you know, the super kind of like superhero aesthetic and all the really bright colors, so I really wanted to draw her. Actually, Starstruck was one of like the first OCs that I ever like bookmarked when I was on the website and looking for like characters to draw, but I never ended up drawing her until like much later in the month. I tried drawing her like multiple times for attacks throughout the month, but like I just for some reason like I couldn't like get her right. Like I think it was like, I'm not sure if it was just the hair or like the eyes. I just couldn't do it. But I ended up settling on this one. It was like the best one that I did out of all of the attempts, so I just decided to stick with it. I think if I were to give like one advice to anybody who's like new and going into ARTFIGHT, would honestly just to be like, I know this might sound like really cliche, but I honestly think like the best advice is just to go in like focusing more on like having fun and like just the drawing aspect of ARTFIGHT. Like if you're like a huge warrior and like perfectionist, sorry, not warrior, like warrior and perfectionists like me and are like constantly worried about like trying to like make sure your art's like perfect enough, or like what if like the person doesn't like it. Honestly, I think like most people on here will be like super appreciative that you took the time to draw their OC, and even if you do like meet negative people, I mean there's always like bad eggs in the basket. Like you can't really control I think something that was also really helpful for me was like kind of going in with like a mindset like, oh, I might not receive like any attacks at first, because like especially if you're like me and like you don't really know anyone going into there, it's kind of hard to get like your account noticed, especially since there are like so many people participating, which is awesome by the way, but it's kind of hard to like get your like people to find your account, if that makes sense. So honestly, I would just focus on like finding people to attack, having fun drawing, being supportive, and like eventually someone will like 100%, like I guarantee you, they will find your account and draw you, whether it be through like, sorry, not draw you, draw your OCs, but like whether it be through like revenges or like, I don't know. And if they don't, come find me next year and I will 100% attack you. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed like my very inspirational advice section. I'm gonna just get back to talking about the drawing. I also had a lot of fun doing this attack. I decided like after I finished this, I wouldn't be doing any more attacks because I also kind of like wanted to draw like some of my own stuff. So my original goal was to make 4 attacks, which I definitely hit, so I felt like, you know, pretty accomplished and was ready to log off. But before I did that, I wanted to do some revenges for the people that attacked me. So the one that you're watching right now is called Party Cake Cookie from Tigris. They were actually the first person that ever attacked me, and honestly I was like so like honored that someone actually like wanted to draw my OC. So thank you so much if you're watching this video. I mean, probably not, but thank you so much, Tigris, for attacking me. I really appreciate it. And then the next revenge you'll see is of this OC named Aza by DM Nanas. I hope I'm pronouncing both of those names correct again, which you'll see like right now. But overall, I think I had a pretty good experience on ARTFIGHT. It was super fun. Everyone was like honestly pretty nice, and then I really enjoyed like just making art for people in general. So I think if you're like kind of on the fence like about joining next year, I definitely think you should. And if anyone wants to be friends on ARTFIGHT, I love making friends, so just let me know. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. So thank you for watching, I really appreciate it, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.